get to Georgia now, where a man has died after he suffered an allergic reaction to a meal he ate at the chain restaurant Ruby Tuesday. His name is Rodney Hawkins, very allergic to shellfish. The restaurant claims, though, he ordered a dish that had crab meat in it. His wife says it's not possible. He would never have done that, knowing that he would have had this reaction and he could have potentially died, and he did. Ruby Tuesday, she says they got the order wrong. The restaurant says they didn't. No charges have been filed because law enforcement took a look at this, but is there the potential for the family to have a lawsuit here? Let's talk about it with a couple of great attorneys, Chip Merlin and Stephen Clark. Chip's a trial attorney, Stephen's a former prosecutor. They both have experience in these wrongful death suits. Chip, I want to get to you. The restaurant says it was on the woman's pad, on the waitress's pad. He ordered the dish that had the crab meat in it. It's not our fault.
Well, even Superman he knows to keep away from kryptonite, and certainly in this case, if you're allergic to seafood that has shellfish in it, you know that you've got to tell the server that you're not going to have anything close to having seafood that has shellfish with it. You're not going to eat it. You're not going to smell it. You're going to keep away from it because you know what the consequences that can happen if you happen to eat seafood that's got crab meat in it.
Stephen, I want to put up on the screen for our viewers the description of these two things. The thing that the family says that Rodney ordered and the thing that he actually ended up getting. The first is this chicken fresco, and here's the description. This is what they say he ordered. This fresh grilled chicken breast topped with the seasonal vine-ripened tomatoes, lemon butter sauce, and a splash of vinaigrette. Now, what he ended up getting on his plate was something called chicken Oscar. Tender jumbo lump crab meat with asparagus tips and lemon butter sauce atop this fresh grilled chicken breast. The restaurant says, Stephen, that he should have known.
Well, he should have known, but I don't think he ordered the dish with crab. I mean, nobody goes into a restaurant, takes their family, and says, instead of dessert, I'd like to be rushed to the emergency room. I think the restaurant got this wrong. This man, you know, restaurants are on notice of these serious potential injuries you can have from eating shellfish or peanuts, and the restaurant is serving food for a profit. I think when it comes down to credibility and a jury assessing this case, they're going to say this man would never knowingly order crab. I think the restaurant got it wrong. I think the restaurant is looking at a significant lawsuit here. So I think that that's the situation we have.
In this day of these, kind of rampant allergies that everybody seems to have, what responsibility do I have when I go into a restaurant? Isn't it my responsibility to say, hey, by the way, if anything you have has shellfish in it and you're putting it on my table, that's a real risk to me?
I think certainly that you have that obligation to put the restaurant on notice if you're not sure. But this man ordered a dish that clearly did not have seafood in it. So, yeah, you would do that if you went to a Thai restaurant and you were concerned about peanuts or something like that. But he deliberately didn't order that dish.
Chip,
but
go
it's
ahead.
obvious if you got a giant ball of crab meat in front of you that's on top of asparagus, that's an awful lot different than slices of tomato on crab. This gentleman had a responsibility, a personal responsibility, to let the server know that he was allergic to it. And second of all, before he put it in his mouth, to go ahead and make sure he knew what he was eating. That's what caused the tragedy. It's personal responsibility and a failure of him.
This is a situation, though, where the restaurant is serving this food for a profit. Are you going to believe the waitress who's in a noisy restaurant serving numerous people? Did she announce what she was doing and when she served this man? Did she tell him this is the dish you ordered? I highly doubt it. Nobody would do this and say what I want to do is commit suicide by going to a restaurant. It's just not credible. The restaurant is the one that has the highest duty of care.
Chip, just last word from you.
It's a personal tragedy anytime there's a loss of life, without a doubt. But if it really is going on here, if the attorney for the family is not interested in cashing in on a lawsuit, but still really concerned about society, the message he wants to get out loud and clear is, if you've got yourself or a family member that has an allergy like this, let the server know, and for heaven's sakes, before you put anything in your mouth, take a look at what you're eating.
Chip Merlin, Stephen Clark, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks, guys. It is a tragic story at the end of the day, that's for sure.